This is the Rugged Revival podcast, the home of the UK's country, Americana and Roots music community. I'm TJ, your host today, and Rugged Ronnie is back with his face like an angry hedgehog. As you know.
Hold on. I'm not giving that. Anyway, go on, carry on.
Anyway, I'll carry on. So we're honoured to be joined on the show today by Addie Levy, singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, solo artist, and a recent addition to the brothers Comatose band. We call her the Queen of Appalachia. Addie is someone that's keeping the spirit of the old-time music and bluegrass alive and kicking and well. So it's great to have another female guest on the show. It's been a while since we've had one. It's been a bit of a dude fest, shall we say, on the Rugged Revival since Anna Scott was on last year. So we're really pleased to have Addie on. So welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you guys so much for having me be a part of this.
No,
I'm very honored by my queen status. That was feeling very kind today.
the
Thank
official
you.
Queen of Appalachia, shall we say. So yeah, do you want to introduce yourself? Hopefully I did some justice in kind of describing who you are, but from your own perspective, do you want to tell the listeners, who you are?
Yeah, my name's Addie. I'm from Southwest Virginia, and I based out of Nashville right now, and I tour with the brothers Comatose, and I do some of my own stuff as well, but I'm a primary mandolin player. That's my baby, and yeah, that's about as exciting as it gets, man.
Awesome. Over to you then, Ronnie.
Thank you very much, Addie, or Your Majesty, should I refer to you as Your Majesty?
My ego's gonna be too high after this. Y'all can't do that.
Honestly, it's going to be great. So thank you for joining us. It's lovely to meet you. I'm going to go to my very first favourite question that I ask everybody. Where did baby Addie come from? What is your background? Where did you take your first steps? Tell us all about you.
So I'm from a little county in Virginia called Pulaski County, and I grew up singing in church with my dad. I was in musical theater growing up. My dad played guitar, and he tried to teach me guitar when I was younger. Of course, when it's dad's idea, it's not, I don't want to do it. Of
Yeah.
course, when you're like 10, it's not cool if your parents suggest it. But yeah, I met Dolly Parton's old band leader, Gary Biscuit Davis, and he was the one that encouraged me to play music, and here I am, still to this day.
Wow. Awesome. So you started at 10 and you said that, what did you first start off with again? Did you say
Guitar was my first
guitar?
instrument, and then I switched to mandolin shortly after
Amazing.
as
But
my
you've got
primary.
many talents, so you can play many instruments. Do you want to give us a list of instruments you can play?
I can play fiddle, a little bit of upright bass, and then I can play 2 songs on the banjo that I learned just to annoy my husband. So, that's about all I got on that instrument. And then I just started playing my first show with electric guitar for the Brothers Comatose, so I did a song on
Oh,
there.
wow.
But that's a doozy of an instrument to play. There's no
Wow.
hiding behind an electric instrument.
That's awesome and very talented. Awesome, very talented. So thank you for sharing that with us. And you said around your, with dad, when you started playing the guitar when you were 10. Do you come from a musical family? Is it a musical background? Is it, how did you get into it?
My dad grew up in music, so I was always around it. I'm Appalachia is pretty rich in that culture and that music, so I grew up going to fiddle and banjo clubs around here and dancing. I grew up at the Fully Country store, going on Fridays and dancing and listening to the music and always being around it. So I don't know if I would say besides my dad, my family isn't super musical, but my childhood was very musical.
And is there anything in particular in your childhood that inspired you to continue? Is there anybody that you listened to that inspired you?
Well, Dolly Parton, one, of course.
Of
That's
course.
my girl. She was the one that
Yeah.
inspired me, and I worked at Dollywood, her theme park in Tennessee, for a long time. She was a big inspiration as a child. And then just some local people like Martha Spencer. She's a local musician that plays old time music in Appalachia, and she always wore this pretty red dress, and she had these long brown hair, and I was like, I'm gonna be her one day. And now we're friends, and that was just a big
Oh, amazing.
inspiration as little Addie to watch her go up there because she would play and then she would dance. So she would flatfoot or buck dance
Wow.
afterwards. And I was like, I want to do that. And so here we are.
Brilliant. That's epic. And I know you mentioned when you said about Dolly Parton, I know the TJ will be going into it a bit later, but you've played at Dollywood, and I've seen some of the videos coming out of there, which has just been awesome. But we'll come on to that in a bit. I won't ruin it for TJ. And so on the last couple of shows, I've asked some of the artists around Christmas time, and we've done some specialist shows like around Valentine's. Valentine's was our last one, actually. That was our last show, I think. But I'm just being nosy now, so there's no special reason. I just wanted to see, would you share one memory that sticks out to you in your mind growing up? One poignant memory.
Trying to think of a good one. Growing up in music is just like, I mean, everything is so important. It feels like monumental. Uh, I would say one of my biggest ones. So there's a festival called Merle Fest in North Carolina, and they have a program called Andy May's Acoustic Kids. And so there was a youth stage, and you would submit your music, and you would get chosen to come in and play. And then like the top of the top kids would go in and play the like there's like the main stage and there's the side stage that's like right beside it. So they play music in between the main acts switching off. And it's in front of like a billion people, it felt like at 13. Um, and getting the opportunity to do that was just
Wow.
amazing. And a lot of the peers that I got to do that with, it was my childhood youth band and then a couple others. I mean, we all work together now. So I have known my coworkers since I was 10 years old, and they've seen every bad set of eyebrows that I've ever had, which is mortifying to think that they have seen that. And we'll work together for the rest of our lives. But it's also really great because it feels like family.
Yeah. That's incredible. And I can't believe, you're still, as you say, in that connection you've had all along, up until now. That's incredible. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with me. I'm
Absolutely.
going to hand over to TJ. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. No, it's really interesting to hear everyone's background when they come on the show, just to kind of see, how your journey has taken you to where we are now. But we've seen a lot of your socials, and this is kind of how you came onto our radar, so to speak. And if anyone's out there, make sure you're subscribing to Addie's YouTube channel and Instagram and everything, even TikTok. We love watching the videos, and I think there's a few videos that you put out where you're playing the mandolin, and I thought some of these were sped up. It just it's incredible. I was like, that can't be right. Someone can't play that fast, but it's incredible. I personally love the sound of the mandolin, and you've got people like Sierra Hole, who's Sturgill's mandolinist. Is that the right term? Mandolinist? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, she played on the Cutting Grass albums.
That's right. That's one of my favorite albums, and she was fantastic on that. And then you've got people like Andrew Marlin and Watch House. So, a couple of my favorite artists that play such beautiful kind of mandolin, and you're up there. So yeah, it's so you said you're based out of Nashville at the moment. How did you get to Nashville?
So when I was working, I've been at Dollywood as a full-time musician. I did that for 9 years. When I got out of high school, I went straight into working at Dollywood.
Wow.
And then I got an offer for a contract gig in Nashville. So it was a residency at City Winery, playing for another artist. And so that's what moved me to Nashville. It was the month after my wedding. That contract did not fulfill. And so I moved to Nashville and then got there and was like, oh, my job's gone. Cool. Time to make friends really fast. And so I got there. I have like the best community of people that I could ever hope for. They're my closest friends. I was in Nashville this weekend. I'm back home in Virginia. My husband goes to school there. So I'm back and forth a little bit. And I got home and I went out with all my people every night because it's in Nashville. There's always something to do. Somebody's music to go catch. We're like, oh, so and so's playing at this, or so and so's playing over here. Like, we have to go see our friends. And just being surrounded by that community is just like amazing. I love Nashville.
No, we've had a few people on who are playing Nashville currently, and we've got Leon Mag. I always say his name wrong. Leon Mysin. Mysin, that was right. He did correct us on that.
Yeah.
And other fantastic people, and a Scott even from Nashville. And it's an interesting scene. It's something that me and Ronnie would love to go out and experience ourselves.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. There you go.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So we definitely have to go. But so what was it like playing Nashville as an Appalachian artist? That intrigues me, that part.
Yeah. So There's a really good bluegrass scene there, and it's a lot of Appalachians that have moved to Nashville because it's so much easier to base out of there for touring. Major airport, any bus routes usually go out of there. And a lot of bluegrass kids end up being utility gigs for country artists because we grew up in a genre that's you learn every instrument when you're a kid. So it's a really quick take on to being a utility player. So a lot of my friends are utility players in the country world classification. And so I've met some of my best friends, like they're from Tennessee or Kentucky or South Carolina, and we all just ended up moving here for work. And now I just have my little circle of Appalachia there. Like all my childhood friends that I was talking about at Merle Fest, like they all live 15 minutes from me now in Nashville.
Wow,
And it's
That's
so funny. We all grew up
fantastic.
4 to 5 hours away, and Appalachian would see each other like once or twice a month, maybe. And now it's, hey, want to go play pool? Or like, hey, let's go to Jane's Hideaway and catch the band. They're like, okay, because we're all off on Mondays. Nobody's out on a Monday.
You're making us jealous now. You're doing so many
Yeah.
things, you know.
Oh, it's the best. I hate to be that person, but you gotta go. You gotta experience. You gotta experience real Nashville. Broadway's fun. Broadway. I've played my share of Broadway. Uh, to it's great money. But East Nashville and even into Madison and West, the scene is amazing with different genres and just the musicians that you see on the road. If they're not on the road, they still gotta make money. Most of us aren't on salary gigs. So we're all playing around town. I went to Dee's one night and it was Wes Corbett, who plays for Sam Bush, and Bronwyn, who plays for Molly, and then Molly Tuttle showed up, and then Justin Moses was playing, and Sierra was Hole was hanging out there. I'm like, we're in this like little rinky dink bar. Dee's cocktail lounge is like the spot. And like all these heavy hitters are just we're all just hanging out. I'm like, this is
Wow.
awesome. That was when I first moved. It's like this is the best thing ever.
Just casually chilling out in a bar.
Do you know
That was going to
what?
be
Should we
our.
just stop this and get on a plane? Let's go.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
We'll come and see
yeah,
you
I
in a
think
bit.
that's about time, isn't it? So when me and Ronnie do come out to Nashville, and we will, where should we head? You mentioned a few places there. Any specific bars that you would recommend that we go and visit?
Oh yes. Dee's always has some of the best music in town. Jane's Hideaway, I play there quite a bit. We're playing Sunday. Uh, always killer musicians. Best cocktails in town, if you ask me. They're pretty high up there on that list. Uh, Honky Tonk Tuesday is always a fun one to go see Western swing bands and go two-stepping. And there's so many dance nights too. I love to swing dance and two-step. So there's all those. Um, where's some of my others? The Tiger Bar is just a normal cocktail bar. They don't do like live music or any bands, but that's one of my favorites. I don't have my keys. I've got a lifetime membership pass there, so I get 20% off because
Oh,
I go there quite a
brilliant.
bit because they have cool stuff. They have cool things to try. But
We're going
those
to
are
borrow
definitely
that.
my tops. Jane's and D's are that's where we're at most nights of the week.
You should do a YouTube video of you just going around to the bars,
Yeah.
tasting the cocktails and giving like the guided tour. I think loads of people will watch that.
What's
So
your
maybe
favourite cocktail?
I've turned into a gin girl. So I love a French 75.
Okay.
I'm learning not to order a PBR everywhere I go because that's kind of my when you play for the Brothers Comatose, like you learn to like beer very quickly. And so usually I'm like, I'll just take beer. It's fine. And I'm like, no, I'm sophisticated now. I've got a stem on my glass and I'm gonna drink this little cocktail. Um, the Tiger Bar has one of my favorites, and it's called the Split Face Girl. And it's an espresso martini with a lemon drop foam on top,
Oh, wow.
which you don't think would go together, but do because I'm a little coffee nerd. But the citrus notes bring out like the citrus taste in coffee undertones, especially in like a lighter roast. They have more of a citric. I'm so sorry. This is so
No, you
nerdy.
crack
But
on.
that's one of my favorite cocktails of all time. It's so good.
yeah, these are posh cocktails compared to what we normally have. It's normally just straight whiskey or maybe a bit of Coke in it. That's
I,
the cocktail that we have.
There you go.
TJ, I've got to say, I'm partial to a porn star martini. I do like a porn star
Ooh.
martini. One of my favourite cocktails. Anyway, moving on.
I love gin. Yeah. But like I said beforehand, 92% of the time it's like, I'll just take a beer.
Yeah, I'll have a beer.
But
That's what I'm
yeah,
doing
I'll just
tonight.
take a beer. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm
There you
drinking
go.
seltzer water. It's too early for me to drink a beer right
Oh,
now.
sorry.
Oh,
Cheers.
there it is.
Yeah, that's the time zone issue. So apologies for that. We're not. It's not 2 o'clock here. That'd be weird. Otherwise,
Actually, it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
There's no difference.
we're good. We can still operate.
Anyway.
Brilliant. No, that's really interesting to kind of hear about Nashville, because that's one of our bucket list places to go. Let's talk about your music, Addie, and going through your bio and everything that we can find online. Basically, we do as much research as we can, and I can see you started in a band called Gate 10. And there were some really young pictures there when I went onto Spotify and things. You look good.
So
It's fine.
my very first band was called Gravel Road. So that was when I was in middle school. And so that's where I met some of my still best friends now. So when that band ended, when they were going into high school and we were all like just kind of going different directions in life, in high school, I started Gate 10 with another group of amazing people who I love very dearly. Yeah. And so it's really bad. You can just Google my name and I'm 11 in those pictures. I'm like, I don't know who to ask to take them down because
Internet's
they're,
forever, unfortunately.
I know. Like, it was cute at the time and it was great, but now I look back and I'm like, I Google my name every once in a while just to make sure I didn't, like, miss anything that, like, got posted, like, somebody else's, and I'm like, "Ooh, that side ponytail is a lot, Addie." Like,
I'm sure
so
that was
those
the
are my
fashion at the
childhood.
time.
Oh, yeah, I was rocking a side ponytail with a big rose in it. Thank you, mother, for, being the one on the train there. But those were my childhood bands, and then Gate 10 ended shortly after COVID because that was when I graduated high school. Class of 2020, super fun. Um, and then I started my current band, so we just play every once in a while together, but it's Addie leaving the Avalanche, so that started last year.
Fantastic. And that's where your self-titled album was released last year, wasn't it,
Yes.
under the same name? So tell us how that came about. Yeah, talk us through that.
So I had the opportunity to work at Hat Creek Studios. Bobby Starnes, who owns it, him and I had started co-writing, and so then I ended up recording a couple songs, and I was just gonna do like a single and put it out, and then it was like, oh, might as well record an EP, and it was like, oh, okay, well, I might as well just do more. So just kind of kept going back and recording, and I had a lot of my good friends on that album, and it was music that I kind of wrote as we went. The first couple songs were when I was first getting into being out of high school and being a full-time musician. Then I wrote about being burnt out in music when I was kind of ending where I was working at Dollywood full time. And then there was me um, moving out of Dollywood and going into Nashville and my contract falling through. So there was just like, it was a lot of emotions. And so it's really just a detailed, at least for me, description of like where my life went the 3 years getting out of high school and where my music was going. And so I can hear a big difference in some of the writing, and I hope that it's not too disjointed because the album was recorded over a year and a half. Uh, and I don't know, it was just like a really healthy way for me to deal with a lot of change very quickly, some of it not great change. So that was kind of my therapy was that album, and then put it out into the world. I'm like, here's my child. Hope everybody likes it.
A lot of
A
people
lot.
say that when we speak to them, their first album is quite
Yeah,
cathartic. It's just getting everything off their chest. And I think Rich Henderson said that, he said,
did you?
he went through a lot of pain, a lot of issues, a lot of stress, and it was just kind of dumping into that record
Mhm.
what that was. And his next record, he said, would probably sound a lot differently to
Yeah, that's
that.
where I am now. We started looking at recording another EP and just some different stuff, and it's a lot different musicality to it. And I was like, oh, that sounds so different. Are people gonna hate it? And then I realized that nobody's really gonna care. So that was a
Everyone
very
cares.
freeing. It was a very freeing feeling of like nobody's really gonna care that it sounds different. Like nobody, it's just in my head. So might as well just do it.
Just on a side note, I know you mentioned the studio, but I watched one of the videos, which was Lies,
Mhm.
and what a studio! What an incredible studio.
Oh,
That
so
was. I was like, I need to be there.
that's my friend Mark's studio, and
Oh wow.
he has some cool stuff. So that was all live recorded, the videos with Lies and Downfall. So those were live cut at his place with those old big vintage
Yeah.
microphones. He has got some killer gear in that room.
Really.
He's just a great guy, killer guitar player.
That's awesome. Thank you. Sorry.
No, I love
No,
it. No, I'm nerd out
Yeah.
about different studios too. I'm like, whoa, that's so pretty.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah. What a place.
and I do love the old. Is it the ribbon mics they call them? You know, the
Mhm.
vintage stuff. They look so cool, and they look very expensive if you were to break one. So.
Yes, I
Mm.
did not touch. I was like, still play bluegrass. I don't want to touch that.
And then moving on, it was October or the end of October last year. You announced online that you were joining the brothers Comatose, who are another really big, successful bluegrass and roots influenced band. And it was great because it's quite funny. It was the sign saying the brothers have a sister. I think the Rugged Revival needs a sister because it's just been me and Ronnie so far, and
Yeah.
quite a lot of dude guests. So maybe we'll put a vacancy out there and see how many applications we don't receive. I don't know, but tell
You
us about
undersell
that
it so
new.
much. You undersell it so much. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I
It's
do a
good.
little bit. I'm just speaking the truth, to be quite honest with you. But so that was really interesting that you joined the brothers Comatose, and yeah, tell us about that new venture.
So back in 2023, they had called me about starting to sub for their mandolin player at the time who couldn't make some of the shows. And so they sent me a YouTube video of the live show and they were like, learn this. I said, okay. Uh, and learned the show, flew out to Idaho. About that time I'm landing in Idaho, I'm like, I don't know who these people are. What am I doing in the middle of the mountains in Idaho? Um, and then I met them and they're just the best people on this earth. And we had one rehearsal and went up there and headlined the festival. And I was shaking in my boots. I was so scared because I'd never headlined a festival before. I just turned 21. I was so scared. Um, and they're just amazing people. They just make such an amazing show. The music's great. They put on a great performance. The crowd always loves them. And it was just the best experience. So I subbed in with them for about a year doing some here and there dates and then I took over full time last year.
Fantastic. And what's it like touring and traveling with four other dudes? Is it easy going? You mentioned, they make you drink beer and stuff, but it's got to be difficult as the only kind of female within the group. What's your experience like with that?
So there's actually 6 guys and 2 girls on the road.
Ah,
So our tour manager is a female. Her name is Eleanor, and she is the baddest girl ever. I love Eleanor. She lives in Nashville with me. So we're the only 2 Nashville girls. The rest of them are West Coast. And then we have our killer lighting tech Sean and our sound tech Chase. So we've got an 8-person crew on most of our stuff. So even more than 4. There's 6. But I mean, they're just the greatest. Like it's so fun. They're so kind. They're like the best people that I could have been paired up with. They're all dads too, so it's great energy in the van, and they're so much fun. I really just could not be more excited about the group that I'm with.
ah. See, I was hoping for some like insights and some dirt to be dished in terms of touring and stuff.
Um, Trying to think of anything funny. I don't know. I feel like we're the first time I ever played with them was 2 of theirs birthday. So Ben and Steve, our guitar player and our bass player, have the same birthday. So it was a very fun night in Sawtooth. That was my first show I ever drank a beer on stage because I had just turned 21 and I was like, I can't be seen drinking beer like from my little Appalachian town. And I was like, it's okay. I just need a water. Like I'm gonna get on stage. We were supposed to headline outside and then we got moved inside and it was hot because the Sawtooths are known as one of the coldest places in the States. Even in July, which is when we were there, it was like 30 degrees. I was dying. Um, and so we get inside this hot building. I'm in like velvet top, and I'm like, okay, I need a water. Open the stage cooler, just beer, just PBR. It's like 40 PBRs in the cooler. And I'm like, oh, cool. So that was my first PBR and first one on stage. And I was so nervous, I hit it at the back of the stage and I would like walk back and sip it and put it back down and come back up. And now that doesn't matter. But it was just There it was just a lot of, like, funny there's a lot of funny first for me because I'm the least seasoned tourer out of all of them. I've been traveling for bluegrass my whole life, but within, like, a three-state radius of my home. Um, it was my first time ever going west of Nashville, seeing the Rockies, going to Colorado, like, it was
Wow.
awesome. Being on the West Coast for the first time, I'm, like, staring at the ocean. I'm like, "I am so far away right now, it is insane." Uh yeah, but we don't have a lot of dirt because 'cause we're also, like, just really chill. We just go to bed at night. Someone was talking to me, about my husband. They were like, "Is he gonna travel with you when he graduates college?" I was like, "No. No, nobody really wants to do that." Like, we're in a Sprinter van for 6 hours,
Yeah.
and then we get to the venue and we unload our stuff, and then we eat dinner, and then we play the show, and then we get back in the Sprinter van and we go to the hotel. It's now when we have 4 buses and, we get to party all night, then maybe somebody might wanna come hang out with us, but not by ourselves in the van.
It's not as glamorous as some people think. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. It's a pretty chill it's a weird job, but it's just a job.
Ah, there you go. But you're playing some good festivals this year. I was looking online, and you've got one in July in Virginia for Floyd Fest, and that looks an interesting festival. You've got some really cool names on the lineup. You've got Government Mule. I'm a big fan of them, an older band. Larkin Poe, and I've recently been listening to the California Honey Drops. They're
Oh,
a
yeah.
funky little band. They are. I do like them.
Awesome.
So, what is that your first time playing that particular festival?
Floyd Fest is my home festival, actually. So I've been
Ah,
playing at Floyd Fest since I was 15,
Wow.
in my youth band, and then I've worked in their VIP hospitality, as part of their staff since I got out of high school. And so last year I got to be on the lineup under my name and I was so stoked and just had a really great community already. So we have like a Floyd Fest family group, Facebook group. Um, and so when it was announced that I joined the Brocos, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, we saw her last year." And it was just super great. And so then it got announced that we're playing it this year. And I freaked out. And like I love that festival. It's 40 minutes from my house. So I get to sleep in my own bed. Yes. And so I love that festival. It's one of the most beautiful locations. It's in the heart of the Blue Ridge out here in Floyd, Virginia, which I just love Floyd. And like Mount Joy is on the lineup. I'm a big Mount Joy fan. And a lot of like really good friends that play music. Caitlin Crisco in the broadcast. She's amazing. Jared Stout Band. He's from here. They're awesome. Like friends of mine are on the lineup, and I'm so stoked about it.
it's amazing. It's got to be tough touring non-stop, and we talk to a lot of artists from all over, and funny enough, the last few have been from Virginia. So we met up with Colby T. Helms when he was playing UK recently. Lovely
Yeah.
guy, such an awesome dude. So when I think of Virginia, I just have a tiny place in mind, but it's a huge state. It's probably bigger than the whole of UK. So when I go, oh, do you know these guys? And it's probably so spread out.
I don't know Cody personally, but we have a lot of mutual friends through music because he's like got that Appalachian, like bluegrass and old time background as well. So a lot of the members that he plays with in his band are friends of mine from childhood.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah. So you've got him. Brendan Edwards is on the show, and Kindred Valley were the last episode that we had on. Fantastic folk band from Virginia. I forget which part, but yeah. So it's like that state is kicking ass at the minute. So many great artists coming out right now, and it's one of my favorite places. On my bucket list, the bucket list is growing. It's like the Magna Carta at the minute of places that me and Ronnie need to visit.
Yeah.
Hey,
So.
we're 5.5 hours from Nashville. It's an easy drive.
There you go. See, I don't visit Ronnie too much because I think it's too far. And you're what, 2 hours
No,
down the road?
just because he doesn't like me. So
That's my,
he
my
never
polite way
visits.
of
He's
saying,
like, no,
Yeah.
it's driving. It's the car, I promise.
Yeah,
I,
it's definitely it's definitely the car.
my car doesn't go that far.
Oh, I have a drive to Nashville. So I'm driving down Sunday morning to play Sunday night, and then I'm driving back Monday night just because I'm trying to get back here and pack before because all
Yeah.
my stuff is here. I have a place in Nashville while my stuff is in Virginia. So I have to come back and pack for Winter Wondergrass, which is in Colorado, which is one of my dream festivals that we're playing next weekend. And I have been stoked and I've been shopping for this outfit for months. And I am ready to put it in a suitcase and wear it.
uh, so not only are you the queen of Appalachia, you're the most stylish person there as well, because I've seen lots of different outfits and some retro things going on. Super cool. Where'd you get your stuff?
All over, too much, a lot. I thrift a lot, um, and I try to, like, not order as much as I can, but I have a weird job, and it requires, like, weird clothes, so I ordered my snowsuit, so I got that from, like, Fashion Nova just because we did our New Year's show, and I needed a gold long dress, and, apparently gold is not cool anymore because every store I went to had no gold dresses, 0, not even, like, an ugly one, just none. So I had to, like, order 6 of them and try and make them work. But, I do try to thrift a lot of my clothes. Nashville thrifting, top tier, so I really don't
Yeah.
have a problem with it there. It's awesome. I go in there and I spend, like, $50 a week, usually, just, like, digging through the racks. It's like gambling for me. Like, I never know what I'm gonna get. It might be, like, a
Ah,
$30 pair of jeans for $6. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
a treasure trove. I think it's not so much prevalent in the UK thrifting. I think if we went into one of these thrift stores or charity shops, we call them here, we'd come out
Mhm.
looking like a 90-year-old man pretty much most of the time,
Fair
which wouldn't
enough.
be much of an improvement in what we wear at the minute. I'll speak for myself on that, Ronnie.
You can find
Yeah.
some cool stuff probably.
I think so. I think we should do that as a mission. We will go out
Well,
at the weekend and buy
Do a side
something.
quest.
we do
Yeah.
have we've got TK Maxx. I don't know what it's called over. It might be TJ Maxx over in America.
Mhm.
And that is like you've got to be going through the rails, like just
Oh,
trying
I'm
to
a TJ
fight
Maxx
everybody off for it.
girl.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love
I
it.
get my little
So
latte and I put my headphones on. I'm in
yeah,
there for hours.
yeah.
It's like,
Pushing
the
people out of
little
the way.
kids. Yes, the kids like dancing fruit videos you put in front of
Yeah,
babies and it like distracts them. Just put me in the TJ Maxx. I won't even buy anything, but I am gonna look at every single item in that store. I'm just a girl. Like I have to look. What if there's
yeah.
something there?
I tell you what, when we come over, we'll go to TJ Maxx or TK Maxx, whatever it is over there. So
Oh
love,
yeah, the one beside my house got a
perfect.
Home Goods attached to it.
I'll make
That's
sure I
cool.
get the credit card to the Max.
There you go.
Well, perhaps we should do a side quest for our channel, Ronnie. In that, I will buy an entire outfit for you, and vice versa, and see how cool we look at the end of it.
That
Oh,
That'll
we've done that
sounds
for sure.
horrendous, but
Yeah. We all draw a name out of the hat, and we went to a like a fiddlers convention, so a bluegrass competition. So we all chose the other person, and then we split up in the big Goodwill, and you pick out everybody's outfit for competition. And we looked crazy, but
oh,
it
brilliant.
was so fun.
So let's do that then. Let's do it. Let's think
We've
about the
committed
next couple
now.
of episodes, yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll do it.
I've always wanted to wear dungarees properly, so maybe that's something you could buy me, Ronnie. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think anyone wants to
Interesting.
see me in a pair of dungarees, to be quite honest. It goes with the scene, doesn't it? Bluegrass,
Yeah.
dungarees,
I'm going to look
it's
for a gold dress. That's what I'm going to look for. See what I can
If
get
you
on.
find one, let me know.
I will do. I'll send it over.
it's going to be an enormous one if it's for you, mates. But
Yeah.
well, there you go. But no, that's been really interesting to kind of figure out what you've been up to and where you're going. Where else are you playing this year, Addie?
So we've got Colorado next weekend. Then the next weekend is North Carolina shows, so that'll be fun, being close to home. And then the next weekend we're playing in Mexico, and I am
Ooh.
stoked because
Wow.
it is gross and cold outside my house, and I'm ready to go to Mexico. He was like, "Yeah, it might be kind of cold. I mean, it's not gonna be any higher than 80." I was like, "It's 22 degrees at my house right now. I will take 80. I'm not worried about that." So we're headlining a festival down there. We're one of the bands there. We're playing in Montana at Under the Big Sky. Super stoked about that one. Um, and then we're crossing one place off my bucket list this year, but that's not announced yet, so I can't necessarily
Oh,
say that. But it's
Uh,
very exciting.
oh.
Not
I know.
exclusive for the rugged revival. We can't squeeze it out of you, and yeah,
I,
never mind.
I've been there for 6 months. I can't lose my job yet.
Yeah, we'll let you off. We'll let you off with that one. Well, over to
Fair
you,
enough.
Ronnie. I've been talking for a long time. Yeah, over to you, mate.
Well, I have been enjoying myself so much, I've lost my place where I am. So thank you anyway. There is a couple of things. I know we mentioned some of your songs, but I just want to say it before we go on to the next couple of questions, if that's all right. I watched a video with one of my all-time favourite songs. I've watched different renditions of it, but Harvest Moon, when you're at Dollywood. Is it Cole Ritter and Bailey Johnstone?
Yes.
Awesome. just great. I love to listen to
Thank
it.
you.
I've heard
That's
so
a
many versions of it, but yours spot on, really good,
Thank
brilliant.
you. The Brothers Comatose have a killer version of that with AJ Lee. And every once in a while, if we get it requested and AJ's not on tour with us, because she will sometimes do like a co-headlining tour, I have to sing it. So I have to practice because she kills that song every time. And it makes me really nervous to sing it when people are used to hearing AJ's version. So I practice in other places.
Amazing, no, incredible. I'll
But
listen.
thank
I'll
you.
look out
It's
for that.
such
No,
a
really,
beautiful
really good.
song.
Now I could go on because I've got a number of songs to listen to. Oh, and the other song that I really liked is "Rabbit in the Log," which
Oh,
I thought was
yeah.
amazing. That's It's like, you know, when TJ was saying, "Oh, it's definitely sped up," or the videos are sped up. No, it's just awesome. So incredible. Thank you. Um,
Thanks.
so I was going to ask you. I've asked the artists before that we've interviewed, but what's the best album or single you've listened to in the last 10 years? I know it's a long time, but 10 years, and what makes it stand out to you?
I have to say the circles around me. Well, I don't know what the release date was for that, but it was within the last 10 years that I discovered it because I've been I don't know, it's close to 10 years. But this is
Yeah,
the most one of the most influential albums for me is the Circles Around Me album by Sam Bush. I mean, just it's amazing. Oh, there's so many albums now that I'm thinking about it. But that was one of the biggest influences for me. I love Newgrass. I love Newgrass Revival. And so to hear
wow,
Sam Bush doing all this like progressive bluegrass, because I grew up in a very traditional setting of bluegrass. And so hearing all these, there's drums on it and they're doing so many different things. That was the first time I think I really heard newgrass or like progressive
yeah.
bluegrass. And I latched onto that album. Sam Bush is my favorite mandolin player to this day. He's amazing. I just love the freedom in his playing. Very like heavy right-handed double stops. And it's just I mean he's insane to watch. Like it's phenomenal. So I would say that that's definitely up there. Um that was definitely probably the biggest instrumentally for me. Uh Oh my gosh, there's so many other options though. I'll leave it at that one because I could go on
Okay,
for like
yeah,
30
no,
minutes here and
brilliant.
like, well, this one has this song and this one does this.
Yeah,
But definitely that one. That one's always gonna be in my top albums of all time.
I'll definitely have to have a look on some of the videos. Not actually seen it on videos, but I'll definitely try and have a look at Sam on videos and see it because you've just described it amazingly. So thank you for sharing that. And the next question I wanted to ask you is around any emerging musicians or bands that you've been following and would recommend to anybody that's listening to us.
Broken Compass Bluegrass, they're killer. I mean, I wouldn't we're playing with them in May. I don't know. They're just awesome. I got to meet them very briefly for the first time in Raleigh recently. And I'd never gotten to meet any of them in person. I just followed them on Instagram. I'm like, they're so killer. Such great musicians. They
Yeah,
have great arrangements of stuff. And so I've been like super stoked to play with them. They're one of my favorites. Pythagoras is another killer bluegrass band out of ETSU, which is East Tennessee State College, and they have a bluegrass program. So they're all students out of that. And so they're just killer. And then another one, Cole Ritter, who you mentioned, he's one of
yeah,
my best friends, but he's working on his next solo album and just like one of my favorite. He's like one of the people that you listen to and can play everything and it makes you really kind of angry because they're just really, really good.
yeah.
And I love him so dearly, but it makes me angry sometimes. I'm like, how did you do that? He's one of those people. So he's working on a project. So definitely follow him because that's just gonna be awesome.
That's great. Thank you so much, and a shout out to all of them. I know I mentioned Colbert earlier around the Harvest Moon side. So yeah, and I think when you listen to people getting angry, it's what TJ and I do all the time. So TJ pretends to play the guitar, and I pretend to sing, and it just makes us really angry because it's so easy for me. That's got talent, obviously. That's got talent. Only the talented ones can sing properly. So yeah, we'll carry on getting angry with ourselves. But there we go. And it's a bit of a strange question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So, if you could choose any song ever um, that you could have written, what would it be ever?
Oh no. Um, hmm. I do have to say one of my favorite songs and one that's, like, specifically struck home when I just first moved to Nashville. I was living downtown. I do not live downtown anymore, thank the Lord. But, because I grew up on a farm, and so this was my first time living in a city, and so Tall Buildings by John Hartford is just, like, one that gets me every time, and it's just talking about the way our society has moved into, like, the chorus is goodbye to the sunshine, goodbye to the dew,
Wow.
goodbye to the flowers, and goodbye to you. I'm off to the subway. I must not be late because I'm going to work in tall buildings. Like, oh, it's just
That's
crazy.
heavy.
That
I
is hard
love
hitting.
that song.
Yeah.
It's just one of the most beautiful. Oh, I love it. Um, so I would say probably that one. That's pretty high up on that list right there.
Great choice. Incredible. Thank you. And is there any advice you would give any emerging talented artists?
You were gonna hit some rough patches. Even when you even opportunities that look amazing, like my contract job that got me to move to Nashville. Um, there is a reason that things happen. There's a reason that things fall through, and there is always something at the other end of the tunnel. If that contract would have never fallen through, I never would have started working for Brothers Comatose, and now I'm in the best gig of my life. And so take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to failure because that means that opportunity is right around the corner. And that's something I have to tell myself a lot.
That is incredible advice because there's one thing that I think TJ and I say quite a bit. Everything happens for a reason. You know, you could be going through a bit of a rough patch. It could be, you know, things that haven't come through that you really wanted, but everything happens for a reason, and you've just knocked the nail on the head. And look where you are now. You're in an incredible place, doing some incredible things, and yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So, outside of music, what's something that you're passionate about outside of music that others don't know? I want the
Uh,
gossip.
okay.
Addie, I want the gossip. I want the
So
yeah.
my last year's whole New Year's resolution was to find some hobbies. I got really into reading. I love a fantasy, dark academia, like that kind of book. I love those. I'm really into swing dancing and two stepping. I love to
Wow.
dance, and I'm really into Fortnite. I play every day when I'm home. I'm actually kind of mad because I was gone for 3 weeks and now the battle pass is almost gone and I don't have enough levels to get all the sparkly skins. That's such a nerdy thing for me to say, but like it's been an actual conversation I've been having with Eric, my husband, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I have to play right now because if I don't get all these levels, I'm never gonna get these sparkly skins. And so that is unfortunately one of my biggest hobbies outside of that. But
I get told that
Fantastic.
every night about sparkly skins. There was some Ice Spice live event. I've got an 11-year-old, so I know all about Fortnite, probably more than I should. But it does look fun. I think maybe in the
it
evenings I need
is
to
fun.
unwind.
I used to make fun of Eric all the time because I grew up a Minecraft kid, some real art of video game of Minecraft. And so he would play Fortnite, and I'm like, that's lame, boo. Let's play Minecraft. And then he was like, just try it. So I downloaded it. I'm an Xbox girl. He's a PC guy. And so we can like game right beside each other. And so then I downloaded it. I was like, wait, this is fun. Because it's such a quick turnaround and everything just moves so fast. And it keeps my little attention deficit brain like locked into something. Um, yeah. And so
I
that's where I am. I've been
I
playing
definitely
every
need to
day
have a look at
since I
that.
got home.
Definitely need to have a look at that. Have you seen they're releasing the Minecraft film? Have you seen that?
I'm so excited. I'm gonna be
It's
honest.
unreal.
It looks kind of lame. It looks
Are you in
weird.
it?
I'm with it. I'm ready to go. I am gonna have my diamond sword, um, and my little helmet, and I'm gonna be sitting in the movie theater, ready to go. That's how I went. I'm a Harry Potter nerd.
Yeah.
Um, when I went to Universal Studios, I had my cloak and my wand, and I'm like, "Let's go!"
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
was ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
My poor husband is like, "It's so great, baby. Let's go. Come on."
Well, that's an excuse to come over here because I live about 20 minutes from the Harry Potter studios in Leavesden, where all
Oh
the
my
filming was.
gosh.
So you definitely have to come over, and me and TJ will take you on a tour with your
Okay,
husband, and we'll show you all around. He'll love it, I'm sure.
don't don't tempt me because I am currently planning a week that I have off in Europe, and so that
Ah,
might be
there
on
you
the
go.
list.
You've
Awesome.
got to add that. And
Yeah.
a sad fact of mine is I used to hang around with James and Ollie, the two twins. I haven't seen Harry Potter, so I can't remember.
Really?
Are they the Weasley twins? I'm not sure.
Yes, Fred and
Yeah,
George
so
Weasley.
They have
yeah,
just
that's
done an
it.
advert about the new train at Harry Potter Studio. This is going on a big tangent, by the way. But Harry Potter Studio have just done a brand new advert, the two twins. So interesting.
There you go. Yeah, it's just another
Well,
fun fact
it's
about me.
fate. It's
I love
fate. There
it.
you go.
This is sounding like I know what I'm going to do on my week off now.
Yes. Yes. Come on down. Um, Now, I've only got a couple more questions, I promise. But in fact, there's only one more question that I want to ask you. So I asked the last artist, it's one of my favourite questions to ask. I have asked them what their top three goals are. So top three goals and times you could say 3, 5 years or forever, 20 years. But I want to know, what is Addie's top three goals?
Um, I mean, I have top 3 venues for sure that could take the list, but like
Yeah,
I really would love to play the Opry, the Ryman, and Red Rocks. Those are the best ones, like the big ones.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think recording another album within the next couple of years is something that I would like to do. Um, and then being on a bus gig. Like I think we're kind of moving that direction anyways, but like to be on a bus for a long term, just to try it. I think that would be super interesting. But I've always told a lot of people that don't understand the industry are like, "Wow, I hope you make it one day." I'm like, "You do not have to make it to make a living." I have no desire in my heart to be like Carrie Underwood level of whatever. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I get awkward when people recognize me in Walmart. Like, what am I going to do if I'm famous? I get awkward at the merch table. And so my biggest goal is just to be happy of where I am. And I'm so thrilled now, and I mean, I can just that's my biggest goal is just to be happy in the gig that I'm in, and I don't see how I couldn't be if I continue working with the people that I do. Cause like, good lord, it's awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Addie, I've absolutely no doubt you're incredibly talented. And I've no doubt you'll be playing all of them very, very soon. We've had so many people mention Red Rocks and the Grand Ole Opry. You will have to add a goal onto your list, because when we've finally, TJ and I have finally sorted out the Grand Old Rugged Revival or the Grand Old Revival, then you'll have to come over to UK and play that.
That
And
sounds awesome.
honestly, that would be another goal that you need to add. But you will play it because you're incredibly talented. So
Thank
thank
you.
you very
Only
much
if
for
we
sharing.
get to go to the Harry Potter world
I
afterwards.
will do that first.
Okay. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I like
yeah,
that.
we'll do that first. Don't worry. Now it's just a personal thing for me. When I was researching a lot of the stuff, as TJ has already said, we try and do as much research as possible on the artist, the background, and everything else. But there is a quote that I come across online, and I'm I just wanted to mention it because I think you should be extremely proud, to be honest. So it says Addie's dedication to preserving and innovating within the bluegrass tradition continues to inspire audiences and fellow musicians alike. Her passion for the genre and commitment to her craft ensure her ongoing influence in the world of bluegrass and country music. That for me, wow. That just proves how incredible you are. So you should be proud of it. And thank
You.
you for talking to me. But I'm going to hand over to TJ now. So there.
Thank you.
I'm not sure how I can top that now. It's what am I going to do? But no, it's been incredible speaking to you. And did you say you're over in Europe this year or next? What's the kind of plans, or are you able to talk about that?
That might be my little secret. But I have a week off in Europe. So that's all I can say
Ah,
right now. But I will be over
okay.
there. I've never
Ah,
been to Europe, and I'm real excited about it. And my little southern accent's gonna come out real thick over there. I have a very sneaky suspicion. Um, but I'm really stoked about that. But
yeah. No, it's great.
to be
We're
announced at
seeing.
another time.
So I thought if I asked so many questions and kind of blurred it, you might just reveal it by accident.
Oh, we're doing this. Yeah. Almost
But
had me. I was real close there. I was like, wait a minute.
I know, nearly
It
had
was
you then.
supposed to be announced last week, and I think that the date got pushed. So now I'm just like holding on to this. I'm like, I need to tell everybody. I haven't done it yet. Very proud of that. But
Oh,
yeah, international shows, heck yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, me and Ronnie are the worst persons for keeping any kind of secret, really. So just don't tell us anything of value. But that's fantastic. We're seeing loads more people coming over to the UK because we were on a bit of a moan fest last year, weren't we? Like we weren't seeing that
Don't
many artists.
bring me into your
Okay,
moaning.
I
You
was
were
moaning.
moaning.
Yeah, rightly so. And people
Rightly
must have
so.
heard me. Yeah, rightly so. People have listened. And we're getting loads and loads more people coming over to some of the festivals. Because sometimes in the UK, it's quite insular. So you tend to see the same homegrown artists and not many people from the States or afar. So so it's great to see Colby doing a UK tour recently for Bluegrass. And when I
Oh
was
yeah.
speaking to him, he was intrigued. He's like, I don't know if people are interested in this music over here. And I said, just you're selling out shows. And the show I went to, there was so many people interested and talking to me afterwards saying what a fantastic gig it was. And I think we've got a really good crowd over here, and you'll be warmly welcome and received. So yeah, if you do come to the UK, come and speak to us. We've got some great venues we can hook you up with. Yeah, speak to us. That'd be
I
fantastic.
like the sound of that.
There you go. And we'll help you with the merch table. We'll even like sit behind that and sell hats and
Threaten people.
vinyl and threaten people.
Threat people like it.
Yeah.
So beyond kind of streaming your music, how can we support you? How can everyone else support you in your endeavors?
Yeah, social media is such a huge thing. I'm a social media hater, but it really is part of my job now. Um, so following on that, comment, share, all the traditional stuff. You can order my CDs or my hats. Everything's on my website, and I have a new song coming out next week on the 28th. So go stream that when it comes out.
Awesome. Oh, we'll go and buy a hat or two. We love a
Yeah, I
hat.
need to get some new hats. I've been wearing the same ones for ages.
Yeah,
I
you
have a
do.
I have a very large trucker hat collection. It just seems to be the thing that I always buy when I'm
I
gone.
love
I'm
them.
like, oh, it's a hat. It's usable. It's not a
Yeah.
t-shirt, Now I have 40. There's 3 on my table that I haven't even like worn yet. I'm like, I just got this one. Isn't it cool? My husband's
Well,
like,
when you're
yeah.
done with them, send them over
There we go.
because we'll have them. Yeah.
We'll send you a rugged revival one. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. To add to your
Yeah.
We'll
your
do a hat
collection.
tradesies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
let's
you
do that.
go. Is there anything else you'd like to plug while we're here, Addie, in terms of what's coming out or in general?
Um, just my song's coming out next week. Be on the lookout for some new Brothers Comatose music. We just got out of the studio for that. So that's in the final stages there. So keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm just hanging out right now. I'm not pushing anything. I'm very excited to be playing with the Brocos. Any opportunity you guys get, go see the Brothers Comatose. There's a vibe.
Ooh, we absolutely will. It's you're very chill. That's what I like about you. It's yeah, it's you're in a good place by the sounds of it. That's it from me, and I think that's all the questions we have. So I just want to thank you for coming on. It's been so interesting to get to know you, to put the word out in terms of what you're doing, and loads of new music coming out. So really excited to listen. And you already mentioned coming to the UK to see Harry Potter. So looking forward to hanging out with a gin at Harry Potter World.
I like it. I like it. It might be a butter beer if we're going to Harry Potter World.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not sure I like
We'll
those, but
teach you. You have to watch the movies if you're coming, but
Yeah.
and get dressed
we'll
up.
let you in on the secrets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have my magic wand and I have my robe and my time turner and I'm such a goober. I'm gonna stop talking.
I'll have a cape and one of those little glasses like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Oh yeah. Ready to go.
Awesome. Well, we'll end with our traditional kind of goodbye. Ronnie, would you like to do the honours, mate?
I certainly would. What amazing energy you have. Great personality. You have all been listening to the absolutely fabulous, incredible, and talented Addie Levy. To the grit, the grind, and to the rival. Cheers.